Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have an unboxing to do today. You are probably not shocked at all at this point, but this unboxing is going to be fun. This is a couple of knives, and they're loaners from my buddy Jason. Jason is one of the founders slash admins of the Millie PM2 Para 3 group on Facebook. So, the Millie PM2 Para 3 group is not only on Facebook, but it's also on Instagram, and they have a YouTube channel now, and Jason has been making some really great videos on there. I lent him my Quiet Carry Waypoint, which you'll see he just did a video on recently. Partially because of me, he recently bought a couple of Koenig Ariuses, so he's got an Arius video up now as well, and of course, a whole bunch of Spyderco knowledge. Just a great source of Spyderco information. If you're on Facebook and you like Spydercos, this is the place to be. Of all the groups on Facebook, this is my favorite, not only because I'm so into Spyderco, but just a great group of guys, really great group of admins, and solid rule structure. Everybody's cool, and they're great. So I've got a bunch of their stuff from him and Thomas. I've got their flight tags from Cutlery Shop. I've got that sticker you just saw. I've got this, the old school sticker, and they also designed this sticker, which, if you don't have one, you should. This is one of the best stickers in the game. I've actually got a couple of these now. So, Jason sent me this package, and I believe I know everything that's in it, but let's just go through one by one and show you. He and I talk quite a bit, actually, in the direct message feature of Facebook, and we talk all things knives and our bad influences on each other's bank accounts. But there are a few things that he had that he thought I should check out. So, first of all, got a couple more of these now, which is awesome. I'm probably going to include at least one of these in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, because I've got a few of them now. And as much as I love them and will put them in a few places, I don't have that many places to put stickers. So, this feels heavy. There's definitely some knives in here. Sure, I think this is just, yeah, that's to take up more space. So, they're all in this really cool clear otter box. And let's begin seeing what's in here, shall we? Jason is he is a die-hard Spyderco guy, which means he and I get along pretty well. So there's definitely going to be some Spideys in here. Get them all out where I can go through them easily enough. And then I'm going to keep all this here nice and tidy for when I send that back to him. So the first one, let's go from largest to smallest. I know what this knife is, and it's funny. The group is called Millie PM2 Para 3 group, and I've owned a few Paramilitary 2s, quite a few Para 3s, but I've never owned, or even, I think I've handled once, but I've never really like used or carried or anything, the military. So this is an S90V carbon fiber military frame lock, which is really cool. This is one of Jason's favorite versions of the knife, and this is one of his personal users. He just got another one that's brand new in box, so lucky me, he's willing to let me carry and use this one for some kind of regular EDC tasks to try it out and see what it's made of, and this is really nice. I dig that it's a frame lock. I think most Millies are liner locks, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that this one is a frame lock with this robust titanium lock side, and then we got a really nice textured, kind of checkered like their G10, but full carbon show scale. Oof, it feels really good. I dig it when Spyderco does this. Sometimes Spyderco and other knife companies will put a final layer of like carbon sheet on top of G10 so that you get kind of a carbon look to the knife, and then the rest of it is G10. This is full carbon fiber that has a finish on it much like you would see on G10, so it's still got this nice grippy, which for the military feels like a proper textured scale, but it's full carbon through and through, so you've got the weight savings and the strength of carbon, and yeah, I dig that. So this is the S90V carbon fiber and titanium frame lock Millie. The Millie is, of course, tip down only, which is part of why, frankly, I've never really owned one. I also just always thought they were too big for me, but lately you've probably noticed I've been carrying larger and larger knives, and so a Millie may be in my future. This is really nice, and I assume I'm going to really enjoy carrying it. So that's one thing to check out. All right, sorry about that. My daughter is losing a tooth, so I had to jump up. But this is the Millie. This is knife number 1 from the package. Knife number 2. I know what this is already, but I've never seen one in person, although I've kind of seen it in person. You'll know in a second. This is a Bladeswelove PM2 Ultra. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. This one has the kind of smooth white G10. This appears to me to be a bronze Lynch deep carry clip. It's got the lanyard hole delete, the plug there, all bronze hardware. And the thing you'll notice most about this is that the compression lock is flipped. This is a lefty compression lock, and they've added a button to actuate that lock. So the way that this functions is essentially identical to the Spyderco Smock, which I owned a Smock at one point. Really, really liked that knife. I let it go only because I wanted to use the funds to get something else to try, but I really enjoyed my Smock when I had it, and so this should function the same way. That action feels different right off the bat, and oh my goodness, does that drop shut. So you can see, you literally just press the button lock, and it free falls. That feels really cool. I like that a lot. You can, of course, use the button lock itself to open and close it, and that is awesome. The lockup is pretty stable too. It does have a little bit of play being this drop shutty, and you can just hear the mechanics of that. That's really, really cool. So this is just a very unique paramilitary too. I believe the only way to get these is to order them as like complete builds from Bladeswelove. So they start with the lefty PM2 so that the compression lock is moving in the opposite direction as usual. And yeah, this one's S30V blade steel, but it's got this really cool white G10 and all of this bronze hardware. This is sweet. Such a cool, different way to have a PM2. I feel like if you're the kind of guy who has a variety of paramilitary 2s, probably sprint runs and exclusives and a bunch of different steels and colors, etc., this is a very unique one because Spyderco doesn't make a button lock paramilitary 2, but this feels every bit like it was made by Spyderco. It feels like a factory offering the way it's all come together. That's sweet. All right, and now, last but certainly not least, let's open up the other item. This is not a Spyderco. This is a Carey, shoot, I forget the name of it. I'm gonna have to look. I wanna say Gordo. I might be totally wrong. I hope I'm not. But it is a small little frame lock, and it's full titanium construction, the really cool titanium clip, and this kind of, I don't know if you'd call that a frag pattern, both on the show and lock sides, titanium backspacer, and it's a flipper, and it's a stubby little guy with a pretty thick, especially for its size, it's a pretty thick blade stock, and everything is rounded. This is really, really nice. I've actually never, I don't think, even handled a Carey knife. I've seen them quite a bit. I've followed him on Instagram for a long time, but my goodness, this D10. The way that that clicks back into the closed position, it's crazy. It's so tactile. Deployment is awesome. For a tiny knife, this actually feels really good in hand too. My pinky has nowhere to go other than to just kind of wrap into my fist around the end of the knife, but it locks in really well. That finger groove, if you want to call it that, feels great. It's got a nice little swell into my palm. This is a cool little sucker. We've got satin flats with some like acid stone washed grinds, and the acid stone wash matches really well the finish on the titanium itself, which has also got this kind of aggressive stone washing on it. This is really, really cool. One of the things that I like and respect most about guys like Jason, about Jason specifically, is that he is deep in the Spyderco world. He runs one of the preeminent Spyderco pages with some friends on Facebook and on Instagram, and he's definitely immersed in the Spyderco world, but he's not afraid to try other knives too, and his collection isn't just Spyderco. And I think it's cool that he can be as deep as he is into Spyderco and have such a wealth of knowledge like he has. Every question I've ever had about Spyderco, it seems like he can answer, no problem. But then he also owns things like this little Carey, just awesome small frame lock. This thing is really, really sweet. I like so many little things about this. I'm gonna not go too in depth. I'm gonna definitely take a deeper look at this, slide it in and out of pocket once or twice, and then I'll do a proper first impressions on it. But this is a really cool little frame lock. It feels so different from anything I own and different from most things I've ever handled. It's a really interesting design. I dig this chubby little sucker. Anyway, so the three knives are this little Peter Carey, I think his name is Peter, Carey design, Carey frame lock, the Bladeswelove PM2 Ultra, I think is what it's called. I apologize if I'm wrong about any of these. I'm just going based off of memory here, not the like have notes in front of me kind of guy. And then the S90V carbon fiber and titanium Millie. And this thing is sweet. It's really big in a positive way. That's what she said. Anyway, so we've got these three knives to check out. I'm going to be borrowing them from him for a brief period of time, long enough that I can experience at least the Millie in pocket and do a little bit of cutting with it. This isn't my knife, so I'm not going to be doing anything crazy, even if Jason were to say that he wanted me to. I'm not going to like baton someone else's knife. That's not my MO, but I'm going to carry this, cut with it, see what it's all about, and we'll see if it leads to me owning a Millie, because it's likely that it will, with how much I like Spyderco, and this kind of being a staple of Spyderco's line, if you will. So we shall see, but yeah, I'll be carrying and using this one. The other two, I don't think I'm really going to be like using, but I'll slide them in and out of pocket to see how they feel. Both of these are a little more niche and unique, and I would feel bad to put any kind of wear on them. So I'll be checking them out thoroughly, and then I'll have I hesitate to call it a full review. It'll be a review, but it won't be based on real use like I typically do, so bear all of that in mind. But nonetheless, I will know much more about these after spending about a week with them and flipping them a whole bunch and having them in hand and sliding them in and out of a couple of different pockets to base some real judgments off of. But all of that I think should come with the asterisk that, with the exception of the Millie, I won't really be like using them for the reviews. So I'll make sure I reiterate that when it is time to go ahead and fully review them. But these are really cool. I'm stoked. I'm especially impressed with the action on this little guy. I was not expecting this to be so snappy and clicky, and it feels really tactile in a fun way. All right, that'll do it for the unboxing. I apologize for the weird cut in the middle where I had to jump up and come back. I don't usually do that. I'm more of a one-take wonder kind of guy. But thank you again to Jason. I'll put a link down below to, I guess I can do all three. I'll do the YouTube, because he's been posting quite a few videos on there, and I really enjoy the videos he's making on YouTube. If you like my content, you're probably going to like his. I'll also put a link to that Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, that is the group to be in if you're into Spydercos. And then I'll also put a link to their Instagram page. I know on Facebook they just passed 5,000 members not too long ago at all. And on Instagram, I think they've got like 10,000 followers. They do pretty good at giving information about when Spydercos are coming and sharing cool Spyderco pictures. So if you're like me and you enjoy Spyderco things, then the Millie PM2 Para 3 group is where you ought to be, whether it's subscribing to them here on YouTube, following them on Instagram, or joining us on Facebook. Anyways, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you again, Jason. I really do appreciate it. And it probably won't be long until I send something else his way to check out, because last knife I sent him was the Waypoint, and that was something that I think he liked quite a bit if you watch his video. So I'll find something else fun to send to him here soon. And yeah, I guess that'll be that. Stay tuned for some more on these guys. I'll do some first impressions real soon. I'll probably do some kind of a use video with the Millie, and then there'll be full reviews within about a week. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys then.